Okay. Oh, alright. There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Arches. It has been a little while since we have played Arches. And listen, I'm just teasing you, Blad. I'm teasing. By the way, I'm sure most people know Bleed. He actually, it's funny because our trio, me, I call that our group, me, Bleed, and Dirk recently played the latest update of Interior. I'm gonna turn the volume just a little bit. Everybody can hear me okay, right? I looked at the last stream I did, Interior, and the volume was a little bit lower than I would have liked. Hopefully this video will be a little bit different. I want the volume to sound okay. I want you to be able to hear me. But yeah, we all recently did Interior, the latest update. We all did it. Dirk did it first, then it was me, and then my good friend Bleed was like, oh yeah, he was like, oh, I'm gonna do it probably this weekend, and he literally did it the next day, I think, the day after I did it. Then I looked up and said, oh, you decided to do it now. Okay. So, Archers, I'm the last one. I am the last one who is doing the Arches update, because, I don't remember, how long ago was it that Arches was updated? Hold on, I'm gonna check real quick, and then we're gonna get started. Because I don't know how long the stream will take. I'm gonna be playing the catch up. Geez, I've really waited 40. Apparently, according to the itch page, it's been 55 days. So I am really late with this. I apologize. I am really late with this. But I think we're all set. Okay, everything looks good. I've watched all three of you. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. We all pretty much do... The one thing I can say is we all do different visual novels now. We've gotten to the point in our careers, YouTube careers, where we all do different visual novels. Dirk tends to be a little more happy-go-lucky. Blade seems to be a little more serious when he plays his games. And he also plays a few more grittier games. And then I play the all-around in general stuff, which, speaking of, very quickly, Steam had a sale, and so I bought a few games. One of the games I bought was Winds of Change. I'm not really a huge fan of Clace's writing, but I have heard decent things about Winds of Change. It's a very visual novel, so I did decide to buy it. I bought Winds of Change. I'm gonna try to play it in the future, mostly blind. And I will be doing another Black Side video this coming week. So. But I think we've waited long enough. I'm going to get started. Load. And how did you guys like the thumbnail? I tried to make a little more horror-themed thumbnail. I like it personally. But, you know, I tried to change up with the thumbnails a little bit. But let's see what's going to happen. Here we go. And then he pushes through and tumbles into dark, thick blackness. This also, Arches honestly has been getting real creepy, and I'm really excited. Well, not excited. I'm excited, not excited, in other words. Despite having seen this monster in some form or another for over 15 years now, Cameron realizes he never really tried to move towards it. In the beginning, he tried to run away, of course, but it ended up following him. It never moved when he was looking at it, but the second he looked away and back again, it would reappear closer, usually at that 20 to 30 foot distance. When he learned to ignore it, it just sort of blended into the background, and he almost stopped noticing it. As Cameron squeezes through the boards covering the window, he's only a few feet away from the thing. He realizes that if he makes contact with it, that if it's solid, then he won't know what to think. He never even considered that it might be real. But now as those unnaturally long claws dangle from the sleeves of the raincoat, Cameron starts to worry. As he moves those last few feet, though, Raincoat Monster starts to dissolve into the dim lighting of the room, and the coyote is inside. It happens in a way that makes Cameron think of a mirage. But the creature is still here, now across the room, against the wall, its ever-present, deranged grin plastered to its dark furred face. Cameron moves towards it again, slowly this time, the creature still seemingly frozen, but in a way a real person would try to appear frozen. This creature is almost like an imitation of the one he's gotten to know so well, the one that almost became a companion of sorts in his childhood. About halfway across the dark, cluttered motel room, Raincoat Monster bends sideways, almost like it's going to do a cartwheel towards the bathroom door. Its heavily clawed hands don't move, though, and instead it just keeps bending like a bridge, like an arch. And then it slips into the darkness of the bathroom. Cameron stares, the feeling of unease growing. Of course, shit like this always makes him feel uneasy. It makes him feel fucking crazy. But what just happened now? It felt deliberate, like he's being toyed with somehow. Raincoat Monster toyed with him plenty of times before, especially the first time he saw it. It was his own mind doing it, after all. But what makes him feel nervous now is that it seems like there's something else behind it. Almost like whatever was behind his first vision in that other motel room is behind this as well. So he should leave, right? Whatever that is, that doesn't seem to have very good intentions. All it seems to want to do is fuck with him. If it is the same thing that hijacked his first vision, then it could look like anything. It disguised itself as Devin and said awful things to him. Disguised itself. Was that even a disguise? Is it possible Devin somehow made that call? That would be the most plausible explanation, aside from malicious ghosts being real, something he never believed until now. He trusts Dev, though. Cameron looks at the boarded window. Why did Artie and Devin abandon him like this? Is this a part of Devin's investigation still? Is this a setup of some kind? Like a test? Cameron continues to just stand in the middle of the motel room, staring around himself. This isn't right. He's not making sense. These thoughts don't make sense. But there are some connections, and he can't deny that something about the whole situation is off. The voices, the whispering, continues to ebb and flow, and there's a slight electronic quality to it. It's not impossible that someone could have planted a speaker in this room to make him think he's hearing the voices of ghosts. After all, Devin had been so adamant that he had not come back to the motel with him to gather his equipment. That would have been the perfect opportunity. He tries to listen to them, but they blend together and mumble quietly, and he can't make anything out. If this is a setup, then Raincoat Monster could be a real person. Someone in a costume where... Something is wrong. Suddenly thinking itself is becoming difficult. He's still high after all. But at the same time, things are suddenly making at least some sort of sense. If this is some kind of sick joke, that could explain a lot. A distant chuckle breaks through the hushed whispers. It sounds kind of like Devin. Devin? Cameron points his ears towards the bathroom. Artie, guys! You can't really be doing this to me, right? His voice is weak, unsure, and afraid. Something creaks to his left, and the coyote jumps, staring wide-eyed. Guys? In the back of his mind, Cameron knows that whatever this is, whatever is going on inside or outside his mind, is not good. He needs to get out. Suddenly, something starts pulling at the boards of the window. Cameron gasps, stumbling back, an explosion of fear taking over in a way that he's never experienced before. Cameron, you in there, right? You okay? It looks like Devin, but the coyote's moving from the bathroom because he's not completely sure, and even if that really is Dev. Cameron pulls the door to the bathroom closed and fumbles with the knob until he finds and presses the push lock that somehow still works. Cameron, honey, are you in there? Are you in here? Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like the... Oh no, I don't like this. Cameron keeps quiet, pressing his paws to his muzzle, suppressing his instinctual urge to respond. Cameron listens to the bear's heavy footsteps on the ruined floor. Then, the doorknob to the bathroom vibrates violently. Cameron yelps. Stop, I'm sorry, I need to figure things out right now. There's a pause, one that seems to go on for a very, very long time. What? Devin's voice is equal parts confused and concerned. Baby, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What happened? I don't know. Why did you guys leave me? Leave you? I'm right here. I looked up the road and you were just going. Oh, Cameron, something happened. It's a little complicated, but I can tell you about it on the way out. I'm sorry I left when I said I'd watch you, but we need to go right now. Something happened. It's a little complicated. Cameron, please open the door. Devin lets out a nervous laugh. You're freaking me the fuck out right now, honey. Suddenly puts Cameron more on edge. That Devin thinks he's the one that's acting strange. You're freaking me the fuck out. Why did you even bring me here? Is Artie there too? Another long, horrible pause. When Dev talks again, his tone has changed completely, like he's being very careful with his words. Like, Cameron is crazy. Honey, can you tell me what's wrong? Did something happen? You tell me, Devin. You're really starting to worry me, baby. Devin's voice cracks. Cameron doesn't know what to say. He doesn't have to think of what to say because at that point something rakes painfully down his back. It's like a giant set of claws, and Cameron gasps and screams as another set of claws grip over the top of his head. He'd completely forgotten about Raincoat's monster, but even if he remembered, he never thought it could touch him. Cameron, open the door! Open, god damn it! Stand back, Cam! The air seems to explode as the flimsy motel bathroom door splinters with ease, Dev having kicked it in. With some light filling the bathroom now, Cameron sees that he's fighting with nothing. He thought it had to be Hardy. Suddenly the bear is grabbing him, trying to hold him or pin him down, and Cameron just struggles trying to pull away. Oh my gosh! This is so Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! What the hell happened? Cameron, what happened? Please, calm down. Just let me go! Cameron is crying now and it's making him gasp for air. Let's breathe, Cam. No, stop doing this to me. Just let me go! Doing what to you? What happened? I don't know. I don't fucking know! Cameron's struggles become more wild, kicking out and fighting with Dev's much stronger grip. What the fuck? Dev seems to say it to himself, almost in a whisper, as if unable to believe what's happening. Cameron isn't able to either. None of this is real, is it? Did you set this up to make me believe or something? What? How would I do that? Speakers or costumes? I don't know. Ow, you're hurting me. Devin lets Cameron go finally, though he tries to hold on to him to make him look at the bear. But Cameron takes the opportunity to escape, running right for the window. Much easier to get through after Dev's entry. Cameron! I'm sorry, I just need to think. Cameron can hear Devin crying now, but he can't stop. He needs to get out. He needs to get away. He falls clumsily through the window, and as he stands up, he gasps as he comes face to face with Artie. Suddenly, he notices how similar the color of his fur is to Raincoat Monster. Whoa, dude, you okay? What's going on? I can hear you guys yelling all the way. Artie trails off as Cameron backs away from the cat, keeping him in view until he can run away up the road to somewhere that's not here. Oh my god. Oh, things are getting bad. Things are getting so bad. Oh no, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Keeping him in view until he can run away. Oh my gosh, I don't like this. Oh, and I still gotta finish Echo, by the way, guys, which I will be doing. I'm gonna try to do Echo next week, and I'm gonna try to upload a video of Black Sad next week. I have off Wednesday, so I'll probably stream Echo Wednesday, and then I'll post a video of Black Sad later in the week. But I gotta get back to Echo, because Arches has made me want to finish up Echo. I still will be finishing up Leo's route. After Leo's, I'll probably do Carl's, to be honest. I think Carl. Probably Leo, and then I'll do Carl. But, oh my goodness. We ain't seen nothing yet. Don't say... Oh, no, don't say that. Oh, I don't like that dragon. Dev sobs as he fumbles to get out the window, wondering if he's dreaming. This can't be happening. He looks around the parking lot, but all he sees is Artie. Where did he go? Artie points wordlessly and Devin jogs up the lane through the parking lot to look around the motel. I'm telling you, I honestly think by the end of this VN, I'm calling it now. One of these guys is going to die. And I'm not talking about Artie. Artie's going to automatically die. Because this is horror. And the best friend always dies in these. But I'm talking about, I think Devin or I think Cam's going to die. I'm calling it now. One of them is going to die and the other one's going to be mentally screwed up. Jeez. Cameron is nowhere in sight. Devin stares for a while, hoping to see Cameron pop out from behind one of the dilapidated structures, but he doesn't. Devin, what happened? Something's wrong with Cameron. I know, he looked totally freaked out. Did that meth head get to him too, or something? No, I don't know. He's not making sense. He's not thinking right. What do you mean? Devin takes a deep, shuddering breath, still staring, realizing Cam might have already made it to the dirt road off Main Street. Devin rubs his face vigorously with both paws. He said something about us setting him up. Setting him up? For what? I don't know. It's like he's not in his right state of mind or something. Devin stops himself from saying completely lost it because that just sounds wrong. Seeing no sign of Cameron, Devin suddenly feels panic bloom in his chest. What if Cameron is so far gone that he's going running off into the desert? He would die. Shit, are you sure he ran this way? Dev starts walking quickly up the road, looking at each abandoned structure, scanning the desert landscape all the while. His panic has settled into a dull, persistent feeling of dread, and his crying is mostly under control, just sniffling every now and then. Artie follows behind him. Yeah, positive, man. He was running, though. Shit. Hey, he just looked really emotional. Doesn't he have panic attacks? Yeah, but that wasn't just a panic attack. Something else is going on. Has he done this before? No. Is he on medication? No, man, he's not on medication. But wasn't he? Dude, this isn't helping anything right now. Sorry, it's just that I remember him telling me he was on an antipsychotic back in college. Devin's blood runs cold. I think it was just like antidepressants or something. Why would he even tell you? Cameron! Dev's voice echoes hollowly up the street, unanswered. He was on both, I'm pretty sure. He was talking to Maria about it since she's been on a bunch of them for a bipolar disorder. I think he was just looking for advice on how to deal with the side effects, and I'm a psych major, so there's that. Are you? Cameron! Duh, I'm a failed STEM major. Behavioral sciences is the next step. Despite that being something Artie might normally say, it sounds forced, like he's trying to keep the mood light. All Devin can think about right now is how he couldn't even been bothered to know what medications his boyfriend was taking and why. He just knew they made him feel like shit. So when Cameron said he just wanted to stop whatever it was he was taking, Devin encouraged him, and Cameron seemed happier after that. Anyway, I'm not saying he's like schizophrenic. Antipsychotics can be combined with antidepressants for just plain old depression sometimes. I think he's just panicking a little. I probably would if I went into that motel alone. No. Cameron was panicking, sure, but he was accusing Devin of setting him up, of tricking him. Cameron didn't trust him, and that's something Devin has never seen before. And remember, with his tolerance, he's probably still pretty high. Could just be paranoid. Devin gasps and Arturio stares at him, frozen. Then rage and horror explodes into Devin's chest. The fucking weed! Whoa, what happened? You fucking know he has problems. Was on medication in college and you just let him get stoned? Artie stares. Well, I didn't remember until just now. And besides, if that's what's making him freak out, it's gonna wear off. No, he said I was tricking him. He didn't trust me, Artie. He said I was planting fucking speakers so he'd hear voices. Artie continues to stare, but doesn't say anything this time. Devin does his best to avoid saying what he thinks is happening. That's not just panic. That's more than just that. Fuck, man, his mom died because of this shit. What if he's wandering off in the middle of the desert right now and... When he had researched psychosis, he came across plenty of stories just like this. The way so many of them ended. Devin feels like he's about to throw up. After a few seconds of silence, Artie clears his throat. Listen, we don't know anything yet, but if I cause this to happen, I'm sorry. Either way, I'm gonna help you find your man, okay? It's only been 5 minutes. Devin starts to calm down a bit, breathing more evenly. Like I said, my girlfriend is bipolar, and even though I know it's not exactly the same, she's had moments like this too, and we always come out alright. So how about we look for 20, maybe 30 minutes? I'm sure we'll find him. If we don't, though, I'm gonna run my ass back up the road until I get cell service and call 911. Alright? It has to be more than just the weed, though. Like, yeah, weed, but weed doesn't make you freak out like this. Don't ask me how I know, Dragon, but yeah, weed usually does not make you freak out like this unless you mix it with stuff. Dev takes a shuddering breath. Yeah, okay. Let's go. Oh my gosh, things are... This is getting... This build just started heavy. Like, oh my goodness, it just started heavy. Jeez. There's no way. Cameron shakes his head back and forth, unwilling to believe that Dev, his boyfriend, the person he loves most, would do this to him. But why? Devin is the one that wants to leave, that wants to protect him from this nightmarish town. How would this help at all, making all the ghosts up? Devin truly wants to understand what's happened to Lupita, where she is. Nowhere. So he'd want Cameron's visions to be true. Unless it's both. He couldn't have been involved in the vision he had by the lake, right? Or what he had heard in the forest. Those were real. Cameron feels it deep down that they had to have been real. He couldn't have made up that recounting of the forest creature or the girl being murdered. Maybe Devin was worried Cameron would give up if he didn't see anything and wanted to make sure by hanging himself in the closet, by creating one of the worst moments in Cameron's life. Devin would never do that, would never think to do that. As he's thinking this, something flickers in Cameron's vision. It's hard to describe, but there's a vividness to what he's seeing. And then the lighting begins to change, just like it did next to the lake. The Cody stops, rigid and apprehensive, not really interested in having visions at the moment. He doesn't have a say in the matter, though. Oh, uh-oh. This time the lighting takes on such a surreal, ominous, blood-red glow that even though Cameron thought he was prepared, he definitely isn't. He stands in the unnatural light, feeling a bit sick, but then realizes he's actually someone else, just like when he saw the girl's life end. But... oh my gosh, I don't like this. Okay, they need to leave the town right now. Oh, Echo, this is the first, you need to definitely watch the beginning, because this is an unofficial, this is a spin-off / sequel to Echo, which I haven't finished yet fully, but it's semi-standalone. But if you play Echo, you'll understand more of the stuff that's happening. But these characters are independent characters from Echo. But let's just say, basically, to sum it up really quickly, Echo is a screwed up town that you do not want to be caught in. If you do not want to be trapped in Echo, we'll leave it at that. He seems to snap into his host and looks down at the body of a creature he can't quite make out. This person he's become breathes heavily, doubled over, his giant paws on his knees, feeling sick. He'd never killed someone before. This little fag deserved it, at least. He spits on the body, then suddenly realizes he needs to get rid of it. As far as he knows, no one knows that he's here, all the way from Peyton, and if he can get rid of the body, no one will ever know he did it. He prepares himself, finding it easier and easier to come to terms with the murder. The thrill he got from it, the sweeping feeling in his gut chest that immediately made his dick get hard, it's a bit worrying, even to him. With a deep breath, he leans down, but then suddenly feels like he's being watched. Slowly, he looks up. It hovers over the road, watching him. Is that a UFO? Oh my gosh, is that a UFO? Oh, that is a UFO. Oh gosh, that's a UFO. Oh, things are not getting good. He'd seen a handful of UFOs, all of them while he was an Echo. He'd come to realize that it wasn't aliens or whatever the fuck people believed in. It was supernatural or something, like a ghost. He suddenly thinks back to his last week when that space shuttle blew up all in his class watched it on TV. He'd been the only one to laugh when it happened. Not really because it was funny, but because it was so unexpected and so boring up until that point. To him, that's the only way space could be haunted with ghosts. But for some reason, he doesn't think anything living, or at least anything that was living, is involved with this. What he realizes is that those crafts made of metal, glass, and covered in lights are empty. As far as he's concerned, they're no different from the ghosts. Ghosts that weren't people at all. They're hollow shells, only there to feed on the sick feeling he got when seeing them, only there to watch him so that the small amount of guilt he had might grow just a little bit bigger. And tonight, aliens would visit him, to torture him, to violate him. Not really aliens, but the same thing as the ghosts that people saw in this town. It's all the same. So he ignores it as he gets to work, and it hovers over his head even as he feels its red eyes on the back of his neck. Oh my gosh, things are getting so creepy! I don't like this. I think it's a hand, maybe the victims. Cameron isn't sure what to think right now. A UFO? What? Well, the shadow creature in the forest had been strange. He hadn't seen it. He only heard someone recounting it. Cameron assumed that man in his vision wasn't in his right mind, maybe misinterpreted what he was experiencing. But this? A full-blown craft in the sky above a dead body? Now Cameron is almost positive he's being toyed with, like Raincoat Monster in the motel room. It just makes him feel like he's going crazy, and it reminds him that for some inexplicable reason, he thought Dev might be in on it. How did he even consider that Dev could be involved in this? Besides, even now, despite it being almost completely silent aside from the crunch of his footsteps on the gravel road, the voices are insistent, even louder. And how would he hide speakers out here in the middle of nowhere? Now that he's focusing on those voices, he can actually start making out some words, sentence fragments. Singing, they sang. Sins of cities are always. You piece of shit, stop doing. Every time he catches a new voice, it fades away before it finishes what he's saying. Cameron stops so we can hear better, ears up. But the voices fade back to barely noticeable whispers on the wind. Cameron remembers those ghost hunting shows he'd watch a few times, the way they're always trying to communicate. So he clears his throat awkwardly. Hello? Are you trying to talk to me? Do you have something you'd like to say? Cameron isn't even sure he should be saying you because the voices are such a mixture of many. But why would they all congregate on this one dirt road? Either way, they seem to have moved on, so Cameron starts walking again. It's something we should see. You think you're special, stupid shit. Again, Cameron stops, and so does the voices. Hello? Silence. The words don't even really make sense. If the ghosts are trying to talk to him, wouldn't they say something useful? Maybe they just don't like him. And if it's replaying of something in the past, why are they just babbling nonsense? Cameron sighs and takes a step. You stupid. Cody freezes, suddenly making a connection. He looks down at his feet, then brushes it back and forth over the gravel. Stupid sack of shit. Cameron stares. It's coming from the gravel. From the sounds of it, anyway. A gentle wind tickles over the fur in his ears, and the whispers continue. Suddenly, he's back in his trailer with his mother. He's lying back on the couch, nodding out after snorting his pills. His mother on the other side of the trailer is kneeling amongst the trash. She'd always been meticulously clean, emphasizing that while they might live in a trailer, they can still make it look nice. But over the past year, she seemed to care less and less, and now, dishes were used and never cleaned, boxes of takeout opened and left where they were eaten. Cameron himself couldn't be bothered to tidy up. It's easier now that his mom doesn't give a fuck. He can do his drugs right in front of her now. The post-it notes and strips of fabric tied to every arch his mother spotted, even the things Cameron is pretty sure are arches, made the place look like a disaster anyway. What does bother him, though, as he watches her through half-lidded eyes, is the way she looks. Her fur is disheveled and sticking up in different places, and she's in the same clothes she's been in for a week. She started to have a strange odor about her, but Cameron felt too weird telling his own mom she smelled bad. It's sad. He almost wishes she'd scream at him and slap him like she did whenever she found his drugs. Almost. Because right now he feels so good, and she seems happy enough to listen to that fan. Cameron covers his muzzle, heart pounding, listening to the whispering wind. No, no. His eyes blur with tears. He turns around because he's worried someone might be watching him, and his feet scrape the gravel. Sadness seems to always... Cameron covers his ears, feeling the now familiar rising tide of panic in his chest. He's going crazy. Just like his mother, he's losing his mind. But his mother changed over the course of months. This is so sudden. He's never heard voices before. Or has he? That hallucination he had of Devin hanging, that was a voice. But that could have been a dream, too. Oh my god, I'm telling you, somebody is gonna die in this. Oh my god, somebody's gonna die in this van. I'm gonna be so upset. Or has he? Hallucination he had of... Oh, I'm gonna be so upset. Somebody's gonna die, and I'm gonna be so upset because I know. And oh my god, I'm telling you, I know it. At the end of Arches, Cam or Devin's gonna die. Something's gonna happen. One of them's gonna snap and accidentally kill the other one. I'm calling it now. It's going to happen, and I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna hate it so much. But that could have been a dream too. Now Cameron's breathing is really starting to get out of control, and he wants to run back to Devin and apologize just so they can hold each other again. Of course, Devin wouldn't fuck with him over this, and Cameron can't understand why he thought that. It seemed like a possibility just 5 minutes ago. But something holds him from running back right now, and that's because if he's crazy. If he's crazy, he doesn't want Dev to see it. Sure, he'd had a few nervous breakdowns and panic attacks in the first few years of the relationship, but that's normal crazy. This is actually crazy. It's psychotic. And while Dev would hold him, comfort him, take him away from this place, who's to say what would happen after that? Behind his outgoing nature and warm smile, Dev would be doubting the relationship. He already is. He'd be worn down by Cameron's deteriorating mental state, his deteriorating hygiene, the deterioration of the man he once knew as the spiral into delusions deepens. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not Mom. No, but you're his son. That voice, the one that comes from inside his head. The one that doesn't feel like his inner voice. The one that won't shut the fuck up. Cameron is walking back the way he came, back towards Devin. Toward what he knows is real and safe. But is he? Yes. Even though he's scared, he says it confidently, and strangely enough, he feels what seems like a pause when the voices end. Like it's not quite sure how to respond. Good. Cameron thinks, this time of his own thoughts. He makes sure to walk to the side of the road, the dusty, somewhat rocky surface preferable to the whispering gravel. Devin keeps trying to figure out how things could have gone so wrong. His feelings earlier about impending catastrophic failure now fully validated. It's happened. He took those courses emphasizing engineering ethics. He studied cases in which every step of a disaster was detailed and exactly how each step was preventable. He took great care in his career to make sure he would never become one of those case studies, that the machines he helped design were as safe as possible. And while he'd already thought this, it's the fact he didn't even know Cameron was on an antipsychotic at some point, just that he was on meds. He knew Cameron's problems were concerning, and he reassured himself of a crash course in abnormal psychology. While he was never as openly disdainful as his peers, the idea of trying to explain complex behavior through endless theories was frustrating, to say the least. He chalked it up to him being one of those people who simply needed a solid answer, a number. But he also remembers those moments when Cameron was on his medication, how one night he'd have Dev sit with him in the arts building on campus. It was late and no one was around as Cameron almost angrily bashed on the keys of the grand piano, asking him if any of it sounded good. Dev said it sounded fine. Then Akane finally broke down, saying he couldn't write music anymore. That emotionally things had become black and white, that there was a wall between him and who he was. That the medicine he was taking was the reason why he fucked up his chance with the label. And as Cameron sobbed over the piano, Devin Devin had decided that psychology doesn't know a thing about how people work. That psychiatrists might as well be drug dealers with an office. It had been the same for his mother after what had happened with Lupetta. Lapita, sorry. Even now, she struggles with her addiction to benzo. Oh, jeez. I know how to say this word, but I don't. Even though she struggles with her addiction to benzo. Benzodiazepine. I know how to say this word. Hold on. I'm going to learn how to spell. Benzodines? Did they say it? Benzodines? I don't know. You might be right, Paterio, but I don't know. You might be surprised. Sometimes a story is actually better with a bad ending. It's rare, and it might make you feel like crap, but sometimes that's the way. Well, you guys know what this word means. Even now, still with her addiction to benzodiazepines, something carelessly prescribed her so she stopped wailing all the time. To Devin, it seemed like psychology never moved past lobotomies. Instead, they just converted it into pills. And he never really changed that mindset, and it's why he never encouraged Cameron to seek some sort of help, especially if he didn't want it. What he took away from his research is that hallucinations of any kind or of serious concern should never be brushed away. But he had done just that with the idea that maybe there's more to hallucinations for some people than psychology will ever understand. Maybe it's ghosts. Devin wants to hit himself. In fact, he wishes the Weasel Man had added a kick in the nuts to go with the gun punch, something else to help remind him of how utterly stupid he is. The concept of the paranormal was so far from his mind at this point that he doubts he'll ever dabble in it again. See? There he is, dude! Devin looks up, and sure enough, he sees Cameron running towards them. The smile of relief on the coyote's face seems to break the dam of emotion in Dev's chest. That wild look he had earlier, the one that had looked at him as if he were a stranger, is gone. The next thing he knows, he's running too. He wonders why Cam is running on the rough roads and thorny vegetation, but Devin joins him and Cameron runs into his chest with a thump. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell I was... Stop, you're fine. That's all I care about, you're fine. But I don't know if I am. You are, you're here, and you're fine. And we're gonna go home, okay? Yeah. Careful. Devin, rocking them back and forth in the uneven rocky ground, sends him to the dirt, but Devin just pulls Cameron into his lap, still hugging him tightly. Meanwhile, Artie is looking away, seeming to have spotted something very interesting in the miniature forest just off the road, though he's smiling. Oh yeah, Adastra's second ending. I didn't get that one either. I heard later on after I played it that there was a second ending, but I never got the second ending for Adastra. Meanwhile, I'm so sorry for bringing you here. I don't know what else to say. I'm just sorry. No, it's my fault for thinking I was special, that I had superpowers or something. None of this is your fault, okay? Cameron stays quiet and Devin is content to just hold the coyote, both of them sniffling. Meanwhile, the coyote plucks that sagebrush that's rubbing up against him, which he holds to his nose. You know, I hate the desert. Devin tries to adjust to the jeering shift in conversation, but goes along with it, assuming Cameron just wants to focus on other things for now. I'm starting to hate it too, actually. Cameron inhales the sprig of sagebrush in his paw again. Well, I love the smell of sagebrush. The way the whole desert smells like it. I suppose it's alright. There's something about it that reminds me of Christmas. That's weird coming from someone who grew up surrounded by pine forests. Like when we went up to my dad's cabin. Now that's a smell I could get behind. I guess I got used to it too, and sagebrush is just different. The desert version of pine forests. Pines can grow in the desert. Then I mean the ones in the northwest. We should go to your dad's cabin again. That was fun. Oh, really? I thought you didn't like it. In all honesty, Dev hadn't either. He had meant to take Cameron ice fishing like his father had taken him so many times. The second they got there, though, he realized how woefully underprepared he was. I complain too much, but we should go in the summer so we don't have to dig through 4 feet of snow just to open the cabin. Devin almost laughs at the memory of being so exhausted by the time he opened the cabin that his plans to romantically make love to Cameron went out the window the second they got into bed. Yeah, I'll ask my dad about it when we get back. I just want to be somewhere with you, away from this. Yeah, far away from this. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll get Leo's ending in Arches. People would probably riot if we got an ending like that for Arches. Dev, I don't think I'm actually psychic. I hallucinated a UFO a little bit ago. It's not real. Oh, you just saw one? Well, in my mind, it was someone else. I saw a dead body and I saw a spacecraft in the sky. It didn't make sense. I see. Well, you won't have to worry about that anymore once we're out of here. I really, really hope you won't. Dev isn't going to ask him to elaborate or tell him that UFOs are commonly reported in Echo, especially in times when supernatural activity is at its peak. While he wants to convince Cameron he isn't mentally ill, he knows that's not what he should be doing right now. Even though he wants to deny it, he doesn't know if it's true or not. He believes Cameron is psychic, but that's taken a backseat to the possibility that something else is happening too. And Dev can't be the one to figure that out for Cameron. He can only be there to support him. Oh shit, I think Artie's in the forest. Huh? Sure enough, Artie's disappeared. God damn it, somebody else is... Oh my gosh, why? Are you kidding me? There's another part. Why are we... Why is everyone here just deciding they want to venture? Oh my gosh, why is everybody here just wanting to venture off? Can somebody tell me why? Oh yeah, well, he'll be alright. We'll just call for him. Not really a big force anyway. Dev, that's where the shotgun guy is. Oh fuck, I forgot. Dev stares at the tree line hopefully. Dev stares at... Oh my gosh. Dev, we have to get him. He shouldn't be too far. He shouldn't be far at all. Anyway, we could warn him real quick, but let's keep our voices down. They get up and move toward the forest. Dev wants to tell Cameron to wait on the road, but at the same time he's worried about losing him again right after finding him. Somehow the seemingly inauspicious path of patches trees is even more ominous during the day. I don't know. I know you're saying that, but I mean, like you said, we haven't got on the lore yet. I'm already seeing some big cracks in... Cameron and Dev's relationship already. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I wonder, are they going to still be together at the end of all of this? Yeah, I cannot believe they ventured off. Artie was like, oh, it looks like I see something. Why would he venture off? Like, we just got group back together. Artie? Dev whispers loudly into the trees, holding Cameron's paw as they descend into the ditch and over onto the forest side. They only take a few steps into the trees before Artie calls back. Yo, just taking a whiz. Figured you guys wouldn't want me staring. Dude, shut up. Dev continues to shout whisper. What's up? Devin can see movement from Artie now. Some of the bushes about 10 feet ahead of them shifting. This is where that shotgun hick yelled at us. Oh, well, I'm almost done anyway. Dev sighs and notices Cameron's with his ears low, looking anxious. You alright, baby? Do you hear, radio static? It's really loud. Dev listens, but only hears some wind through the trees. I think it's just the leaves, honey. But then there is something. Maybe what could be described as static. Actually... Jesus! He jumps as the phone notification sound goes off. Well, I definitely heard that. I do think it's just the wind, but I'm hearing it too. He takes his phone out, seeing that an email managed to get through. Cottage Inn reservations. Important booking information. Due to the ongoing public health emergency, all reservations have been cancelled. We sincerely apologize. The notification banner cuts off there, and the surreal message makes Devin feel like they're isolated from the world now more than ever. He wonders if he should try to call the police, even though he still only has one bar. At this point, he'd be willing to just let the authorities know that he's stranded before anything else can happen. Then something out of the corner of his eye catches his attention. It looks like the walls of a structure of some kind, beige and peeling, hard to see through all the leaves and branches. Devin holds up his paw in front of Cameron, signaling for him to stay put before taking a few cautious steps further into the forest. He thinks it's a trailer, one that looks so run down that he wouldn't be surprised if it's abandoned. What unsettles him is that it's buried so deep behind the trees, it's like it's meant to be hidden. He can try to make a call further down the road away from whatever that is. I'm here. No need to check on me. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna try to make a call on the road, but we're going straight. The look on Artie's face makes the bear pause. What? What the fuck? His voice is quiet, but his tone is one of confusion and shock, staring over Dev's shoulder. Devin feels dread creep over him, not sure if something else could be happening right now. Something so terrible that Artie has that look. Cameron stands where he left him. Oddly enough, he doesn't even seem to be paying attention to them. He's staring up towards the trees, and Devin can see his eyes darting from left to right. His ears are lying back and twitching like he's hearing something that's too loud. His breathing is heavy, and Devin can see his chest heaving. He's panicking again, but the reason for it is clear. About a single second is all Dev has to see it. And to hear it. And then it drops onto Cameron. Oh, shit! And then it drops onto Cameron. Oh no! Oh my gosh. Cameron is suffocating. Just moments ago he'd been gasping breath, feeling the invisible dread creep up his back, the deafening static roaming in his ears. But now it's completely black and something has his limbs around him, fingers over his mouth and nostrils. He trashes around, or at least he tries to. He goes through the motions, but there's no sensation of movement. A straining inhale of air drones right next to his ear, the thing pressing its head to the side of his face. Cameron begs it to let go, tries to call for help. Devin was in front of him only seconds ago. Or minutes. The voice in his head returns. Or hours. Or has it been years? It doesn't matter when you're dead. Cameron does think that he's died and that he's in hell, because of course he'd end up there. There is no hell. This is death. This is what happens to everyone, Cameron. Cameron realizes then that it's not the thing holding on to him that's speaking to him. Because now is when it starts to speak, but it's not a voice he expects. No, get away! A woman's voice. Oh, that was a woman's. Stupid fucking cunt, cheating whore. A man's voice, a sickening thud. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Oh, I don't like this either, Dragono. The tone of the static changes to Cameron knows he's listening to something different, a different moment. He's dead, you can stop now. No, he's still twitching. And it continues. What sounds like someone screaming through a gag. A woman sobbing, a man begging. But then there's a shift, and through most of the voices were women. These become almost exclusively young men. If you let me go, I won't tell anyone, I swear to God. No me mate, por favor. Stop, just stop. And the voices blend together and go on and on and on. Meanwhile, Cameron goes limp, giving up, feeling as one with the voice that comes next. Why don't you just kill me? Oh, jeez. Devin watches as Cameron's body just goes limp, and though he tries to leap forward and catch him, the Cody slips to the ground at his feet. The bear instantly picks him up, or tries to. Though it's something he'd done many times before, he'd never done it while Cameron was so completely lifeless, and he struggles with the Cody's dead weight. Cameron! He lies the Cody out on his back, hoping he just wakes up. What the fuck was that, dude? What the hell was that thing? Whatever it was just seemed to absorb into Cameron, disappearing in an instant. Devin doesn't care. 2 days ago, I would have thought he'd give almost anything to see something like that. Now it doesn't seem to matter at all. Cameron's chest that had been heaving seconds ago isn't moving at all now. Fuck, Artie, he's not breathing, man. What do we do? Holy shit, oh, maybe chest compressions, right? Right? The panic is starting to overwhelm the bear, his peripheral vision dimming, going dark. He thrusts the paw next to Cameron's head to steady himself. He can't pass out now. Otherwise, Cameron will only have Arnie to help him, and the cat seemingly frozen, his fingers twisting into his head fur. Why is this even happening? Why would he just stop breathing? Devin tries to tilt Cameron's head back straight in his torso so he can breathe. Come on, breathe! Cam, just breathe, please! Devin rubs at Cameron's chest. It's such a desperate, useless gesture. Do you know how to do CPR? No! Dev readies himself, wishing he could remember a single useful thing from the one day he learned about CPR in high school. All he remembers is teetering with his classmates about the female mannequin's chest and how they had to touch it. His vision blurs as he uselessly places his paws, one over the other on Cameron's chest. And then a droning, ragged wheeze comes from the coyote's mouth. Oh my god, Cam! Another labored wheeze. He's breathing, right? That's right, Cam. Keep going, baby. He is, but it's still strained, like something heavy is on his chest. Not sure what else to do, Devin pulls Cameron into a sitting position, leaning the coyote against his body, and Cameron gasps. Oh, thank fucking God. Just keep breathing like that, Arnie. Yes. Even Arnie is crying, wiping his eyes as he laughs. But what just attacked him? You saw that thing, right? Or am I crazy? Devin shakes his head. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Now Devin just needs Cameron to regain consciousness so he knows he's okay for sure. Never had he seen evidence of or believed that the supernatural could physically harm the living. Let's get out of this forest, dude, in case it comes back. Yeah, alright. He's very careful how he moves Cameron, terrified that his breathing might stop again. But as he stands cradling Cameron in his arms, he looks up. Standing 20 feet away toward that trailer, there's another bear. He's holding a shotgun. Oh no! Oh shit. Oh my gosh. To be continued. Oh boy. Wow, what a way to end. Oh my gosh. What is going on? Things are getting really intense. Oh my gosh, things are getting really intense. Well, Brian build next. I don't know, it might be. I'm a little, oh my gosh. Jeez. Well, that's the end of, wow, I'm really surprised. This build was less than an hour. It took me less than an hour to finish this build. Jeez, I cannot wait for the next part, which should be coming soon, hopefully. Yeah, and the music is really good. Who said it earlier? The music, Echo. You said Echo Blade. So the music is really good. Back to the torture trailer. Oh my gosh, if we get something like that next part. Well, I thank you everyone for watching this. Yes, this was emotionally exhausting. I do agree with Nivik. This was really terrifying. Like, things are getting really intense, and wow. Jeez. But anyway, everyone, I want to thank all of you so much for watching this video. Stream. If you really enjoy this content, and if you're like Echo Blade over here, who hasn't watched the rest of the parts, please watch the playlist. Please watch the playlist of Arches, as well as Echo. Echo, I'm currently on Leo's route, which hopefully I will finish later this week. Probably new build in February. Okay, I will be definitely looking forward to that. But this coming week, though, I will be streaming Echo probably Wednesday, and then later on this week I'll be continuing with Black Sad. This was really good. I really am liking Arches a lot. It really does make me want to go back and play Echo, so. But with that, being all said, thank you so much for stopping by. Especially thank you to Bleed for stopping by. I know Bleed over here is a very popular a very popular furry VN YouTuber, and I thank him so much for having time to stop by his friend's stream with his busy schedule. But anyway, everyone, take care, try to have good dreams. I know it might be a little bit hard after just watching me play through this, but hopefully, have great dreams, stay warm, and I will see everybody later this week with more Echo. And more of Leo and Chase's dysfunctional relationship coming up. But take care, everyone. This has been Fallenwolf. And I'll see all of you next time. Bye.